Hey, folks. Right. Okay. Just getting everything ready. Hey, Paul, Jamie, Stuart, and Robbie. So I'm doing a little experiment today. You'll find that you cannot unmute yourself for the moment, simply because I've put this Zoom link on Twitter. Now, every time I've put a link on Twitter, like a Zoom session, we always get abuse. So people swearing, sharing naked videos, all sorts. So I've spent a bit of time trying to get my head around the Zoom stuff. So if people start sharing weird videos, and it has been done before, I'll just stop video enabling, if that makes sense. And let's just make sure the annotations, yeah, okay. I think we're good. I think the last time we did this, it didn't go down. It didn't work. So, and this is being streamed to YouTube. So, hey, folks on YouTube, with the world's worst delay. Like, what is it with Facebook and YouTube having like a 20-second delay? It's crazy. But yeah, so hey, Mohammed, nice to see you here. Jamie said, what happened last time? Well, the last time that happened, we had a whole bunch of people joining on, started swearing, and sharing like naked videos of, just being gross individuals, basically. So yeah, 12:01. Okay, that's 1 minute over. Let's crack on. Thanks everyone for being here on Zoom and also YouTube. So hey, YouTube. Imam and Mohammed, nice to see you on YouTube. Today is going to be a normal session, live Ask Me Anything session. I say ask me anything. Let's keep it within the realms of business, trading, crypto, and wealth generation in general. But so whilst I've got a few things I want to go through, like I always do. Balls, I haven't recorded the screen. I'm just going to hit record. Just make sure. Okay. I'm recording. Okay, so whilst I go through the few bits and pieces that I wanted to chat through today, please pop your questions in the chat and I'll get round to them. So first of all, if I just quickly share my screen, hopefully you can see my my main one. Okay. So in the WAP, there's some questions which I've only just seen actually. And the first one is this one by Firoz. Hopefully that's how I say your name correctly. Sorry if it isn't. Hello all, currently trialing the WAP. Great content in all the free videos. The only thing holding me back from subscribing is that I'm still agonizing over the idea. Am I the only one with this problem? Any tips on getting over this hurdle? So yeah, thanks for being a WAP trialer. So the first thing is that you really shouldn't worry about the idea. One of the things, so the WAP here, the WAP, if you look at the WAP map, it's not here to give you like a business idea exactly, and then say go and do this, because it probably won't work. Everyone is different, so everyone has different styles, lifestyles, time. Like there's so many things. It's like, I mean, you could like compare Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos sells stuff online. Musk does other things. So it's like, yeah, you can't just go, okay, Jeff Bezos has done really well. Okay, everyone must sell stuff online, like e-commerce, etc. It just doesn't work. So there are 1,000,001 different ideas. And so the thing which I think is really important to remember is this. If we go to extra resources, and if you scroll down, and there's the biz idea execution folly. So if you just click that and download that, this is, I've spoken about this before, but it's worth going through. So the vast majority of businesses fail not because of the idea, but due to woeful execution and implementation of that idea. Most celebrity entrepreneurs you can think of didn't have an original idea. They simply executed better, faster, etc. Like Simon Cowell's never done an original idea, etc. He's just done things better. Part of the reason most businesses fail is that they don't know how to attract, convert, and keep clients. Derek Sivers, author of Anything You Want, was spot on when he said that ideas are simply a multiplier, but the marketing budget is also pivotal. You can have the best idea and the best execution, but without marketing, you'll never get it out there. So I took his sort of multiplier idea and then sort of grew it a little bit. So this is where you have your idea, everything from awful to brilliant, and I've given it some sort of a ratio. And he then times it by execution and then divide it by marketing budget. So for example, a brilliant idea so a brilliant idea is 20, with a weak execution, so call it £1,000, and low marketing budget is a £2,000 business. And this is where everyone is getting caught up. They're thinking, oh, I need to have a $1 billion business idea or something really, really good. But you don't. A lot of the big businesses, so a lot of the very wildly profitable business owners I know are in businesses which are so boring. I interviewed my mate Sam a few weeks ago. He sells ball bearings online and fishing rods online. I have a guy who does waste disposal. Like my mate, he didn't grow up. He wasn't a kid, and he said to himself, "I want to be doing waste disposal when I'm older." He didn't do that, but he's a multimillionaire. Do you think he cares? No. Sometimes it's the most boring business models that do really, really well because it's an uncrowded market space. Whereas right now, everyone is like, "Oh, I must set up a drop shipping company, or I must do a podcast, or I must do, I don't know, the next TikTok thing. I want to get 1 million subscribers on TikTok or whatever." Like you don't need to chase every single new fad. So all you really need to do, in fact, sorry, let's share the screen again. So yeah, the idea, just ignore it. I mean, a lot of my businesses are, I would say hovering around weak idea to so-so idea. And I've done fine myself. So that's the first thing. What is the next thing I wanted to talk about? Yeah, so if you go back to the WAP map, come on, internet. So as you can see, the WAP map, it shows you, it gives you so many different modules to help get going. So I think what you're struggling with at the moment, Froze, is simply just a lack of knowledge on different things. So I would say the Facebook marketing module in the WAP map is probably one of the most important things, because yes, it talks about Facebook marketing, but it talks about how to structure your whole business with your product architecture, etc. And when you know how to drive traffic to a website, how to get eyeballs onto your website or your business in general, then you'll be able to filter out a whole bunch of different ideas. And then combining that with this module, which says executing your ideas, and it goes through the numbers, you'll know how to simply, on the back of a napkin, figure out if a business is worth doing or not. And again, it is worth, for those of you who are new here today, if you go to my YouTube channel and then so if you just type Siam Kid, sorry for those that have been at these live sessions a lot, you've probably seen me do this loads. Go to Siam Kid, my YouTube channel, then go to playlist, and then in the playlists there is where the hell has it gone? Wealth generation social chats. So every day I'm doing these live chats, all the recordings are in here, and honestly we've covered so much since, I don't know, what was it, February I started doing this. So that's that. But yeah, just all of these modules will help you get your business up and running. Right, so that's Feroz. Was there another question here that I didn't answer? I think. Okay, yeah, Tom. So here we go. So Tom has asked, "Hi all, how are you all this weekend? I'm new to the group, new to the WAP, blah, blah, blah. I've got a couple of ideas that I'm going to implement. one of which is a type of edible product aimed as a solution for a particular health issue. I know Simon mentioned to stay away completely from inventions. My question, does the following fall into that category? This new product can be manufactured by existing manufacturers if given the recipe. We would have to stock it and ship it. There's a possibility for subscription and one-off sales, although the concept is new and would take a large following to generate momentum. Any thoughts would be appreciated. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. It sort of does fall into the invention category. And for those who are new, the one thing you really need to avoid as a new business owner is invention type businesses. You cannot get an invention off the ground unless you got 6 figures. You really do. I've got a whole bunch of inventions invention type businesses that I want to deploy, but I can't do it because I don't have the capital yet. So you really need at least £500,000 to go at it hard, because the moment if you don't have the capital to back your idea and move quickly, someone's going to pinch it. So if you do have an invention type business, you need to basically hit the ground running fast, and you need to IP the shit out of that. But then if you're so here's the thing, IPing something and trademarking something doesn't protect you in China. So what I've seen with a lot of people with invention businesses, they'll give the recipe or whatever to somewhere in China. And and they may not copy it straight away, but if all of a sudden your business takes off and you start selling like hotcakes on Amazon or whatever, the company, the factory in China is going to be like, okay, well, we have the recipe, we're just going to do it ourselves. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's why there's shopping stores in China where there's like KFC, McDonald's, it's Starbucks, but it's not actually the real companies. They've literally just copied the brand, and then they're selling coffee out of a Starbucks, which isn't a Starbucks. You cannot enforce IP in China. Impossible. I mean, they even make cars called BMW, and it's like exact ripoffs of BMW cars, but and not even BMW can fight them. So, yeah. So I would be very careful. Also, this will take a lot of money. I'm like, if you got, I mean, at the minimum, it's probably going to cost 5 to 10 grand just to get your prototypes going. So, yeah, I would perhaps try and get a little bit of stock. So maybe I don't know what it is. Try and like get 100 prototypes, maybe. I don't know how often you eat these things. Edible product, it's a particular health issue. Yeah, maybe get enough so you have like a little trial cohort of about 20 trialers, and give it to them for free, and then really see, and try and get 20 great testimonials, and honest ones as well. And if there are legs behind that, then perhaps give it a go. But I would be very cautious. Yeah, I'm just going to add caution. I don't like weeing on people's bonfires or business ideas, but I just know what works through hindsight. So yeah. But you're right. If it is something which they need on an ongoing basis, then it will be a subscription type thing. So, so that's that. Okay, let's have a look at the questions in Zoom now. Let's stop the share. Okay, questions. Scroll up to the top, and then I'll look at all the questions in YouTube in a second, folks. Paul, nice spike on gas overnight. Would you take some profit now and buy back in if it falls back? No, I'm not. So with gas, I'm just staying put. So if I share my screen and open up TradingView. So gas is my long-term punt, basically. So if we look at gas, it's gone up 26% against Bitcoin overnight and 21% in dollar terms. So yeah, it's quite nice. So I'm happy with gas at the moment. I got in at $1.69. It's now $17, which is great. However, the reason I'm in this, as you know, is I'm waiting for the ratio to get back up here. So at least to the 004 level, but ideally the 007 level. So I'm not touching my gas until we are way back over here. So that's that. I have to put my hands up one of my strategies I do with crypto is so yeah, in fact, this is probably worth talking about. Let's get my doodle pad open. So one of the things I do is an overextension fade. Oops, hopefully you can see this. Let's make this a fatter pen. I'm not sure what the resolution is like on YouTube here. Over extension fade. Now, what an overextension fade is basically when you look at any market, it could be soybeans, it could be crypto, it doesn't really matter. But when you're looking at the charts, you'll have all of these big bars. So where is, yeah, okay, let's just go on to anything comp, I don't know. Now, typically, especially with crypto, or definitely with stocks and currencies, but also with crypto, whenever you have big old bars, or an overextension, so where the market is massively rallied, what happens nearly always is that there tends to be, well, the market likes to pull back 50%. So the market loves to pull 50, as in retrace 50% back from the overextension. So here, in this case, if you look at this little overextension from up here to sort of down here, halfway is about 375. And guess what? The market pulled back to 325, etc. So markets always love to retrace. You can pick anything. Let's look at Binance. Let's go back. So here we go. Binance, massive overextension to the upside. It goes from $40 odd to 340, and then it pulled back all the way back to sort of 180, 190. So I would say 90% of the time, whenever you have overextended candles or overextended markets, you'll have a 50% pullback. Now, even individual candles, like here, we have a big candle from sort of $195 to 350. Where's the 50% level? Call it 260. Boom. The next candle, it pulled all the way back there. So one of the things I do, and I say 90% of the time this works, is I fade it. So if it's currency trading, there could be a massive bar. I may actually short it here and then take profit halfway. So that's one way you could do it. But with crypto, instead of fading it, so technically a fade is what's called going against the grain. So you're in this case, this is rallying up hard. I tend to short it, so that's what a fade is. But with crypto, what I tend to do is an overextension sidestep. And so what a sidestep or an overextension sidestep is, let's say the market is going up. I then go, right, I'm going to sell here. And then, I don't know, let's say, and I'll put an entry buy order. I don't know, where I think it's likely to retrace. Okay. So what happens is if it is correct and the market then starts to fall, boom, you then rebuy at a lower level, and then you just wait till it carries on going up. And so what happens is you end up with more crypto or more stock or more whatever for the same amount of money. And I do this all the time. However, in recent times, there have been 2 occasions where the market has left me for dead. Now, as I said, most of the time this happens. And when it does happen, you end up doing remarkably well. So, but I'll show you the 2 occasions. I'll show you the 2 occasions which have just left me for dead. But this is a good example. So look at Binance here. So I got into Binance at $38. Here we go. Boom. Right in the nice pullback. $38 exactly, pretty much. And then it started rocketing up, which is great. And then I saw a bit of a high here. And then what I did is I sold out somewhere around up here, 320, 340-ish. I can't remember where. And then I waited for a pullback, and then boom, got back in at 260. So what actually happened is I didn't actually put much money down here. I put $4,900 in. So I put $4,900 down here. Oh, got a frog in my throat. And then I ended up with a bit more. And so it got to the point where I've got 175 Binance. And so now Binance has then gone nuts and has done its thing. So my 175 Binance is now worth, what was it, times 509, $89,000. So it's basically $5,000 into 89,000. So that's one example of what I've done. So let's show you some. Jesus Christ, Dogecoin, 76%. Yeah, so this is the one that has got away and where I've absolutely been hammered. So I got in at Doge at 2.5 cents, right down here. It then did its first move up. I sold out way up here, got back in, and I've been doing side steps with Doge for quite a while now. And I ended up, I really didn't put that much in Doge. I put $1,600 in Doge, and I've been selling the highs, buying back at the lows, etc. And then I got back in again. Yeah, so I had 100,000 Doge at 5.5 cents, and then it rallied here. It zoomed up to 14 cents. So guess what I did? I just stuck to my rules and then I sold. That's what a trader does, by the way. Traders, you cannot expect to get every trade right. No trader on the planet gets every trade right. All you do is you stick to a system which is proven, and then over the long run, the market, expectancy plays out, and then you make profit. So that's all I'm doing. I was sticking to my strategies. It hit $14. It seemed absolutely nuts. And then I didn't actually want to get back into Doge. I actually took, because it went from, basically I put $1,600 here and it turned into something like $100,000, 100,000 Doge times 14 cents. Yeah, $14,000. So I then took that $14,000 and put it into a whole bunch of different shitcoins, because I've been meaning to get a shitcoin portfolio for a while. Now I was sort of correct, because straight away it pulled back to 12 cents. So almost, it was a 50% retrace of that bar. But yeah, evidently the coins I've gone in haven't boomed as much as Doge. However, this cannot, I mean, just look at GME, GameStop, like same shizzle. This will come back down. This is the same hype that'll bring it back down. However, it's done all right since, which is actually quite surprising. So if we look at basic attention token, this is another one where my doodles disappear sometimes. So BAT coin, or basic attention token, sorry. I got in at 23 cents, and then not long ago it zoomed up to, if you zoom in, about 120, 130, and I sold up here and got back in at $1. See, I got in on this retrace and then boom. So that's done really nicely. So that's one example of it going well. Engine is the other one that got away. So there's two that have got away from me, Dogecoin and Engine. So I got in at Engine coin down at sort of 17 cents. It then rallied hard. Here we go. And then boom. Late one night, I saw this massive rally. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get out at $1.30. So I got out at $1.30, and I was aiming. So look at this retrace. I thought, oh yeah, pulling back to $1, well, just above $1 will be, a fair shout. It pulled back to $1.07, and look, my entry order is here at 103. It missed me by a couple of cents, and then Engine went, bye, Siam. Shit. But the money that I made from here, again, I turned $1,600. What was it? So I'm not complaining. I'm not really that fussed. Times 0.16. So what did I have? Divided. So $1,600 divided by 0.16. So I had 10,000 Eng, and then I sold that 10,000 Eng at $1.30 times $1.30. So yeah, $1,600 turned into about $13,000. So I'm not too fast. So I've redistributed the profits into other things since then. But yeah, it's gone nuts. Where's the other one? Filecoin, that worked a treat. So this is the last example, then we'll get into something different. So Filecoin, I got in all the way down here at $21. It then zoomed up. I saw a massive overextension, and I sold. Where was it? Yeah, I sold here at $87. Got in at 76. I remember, if I remember. And then we did it again. Oh yeah, so here I started with 76. What else? how much did I burn? Yeah, I started with 76. So 76 times 21. There we go, $1,600. So I put $1,600 into a lot of these coins. So $1,600 down here. I then sold up here and then got back in at $76. So I basically turned my 76 fill, as in file coins, into 87.5 file coins. So I made 15% more coins. So I had basically 11.5 more coins. It then rallied again, and guess what? I stick to my methods. So on this overextension at $195, I sold my 87.50, and guess what? I rebought back down here at 171. So I've basically taken. So I now have 98.83 file coins. So I've basically taken $1,600, and that 98.83 times 178.69. Yeah, so that $1,600 is now $17,500 almost. And that's by doing a side hop. And I do side hops all of the time. So yes, Doge has run away from me, which is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But others have done very well. So I'm not too fussed. Theta is my one, which is doing really well. Anyway, so that's the overextension, sidestep or fade. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll just continue. Yeah, so here's my caveat to this. Now we're in alt season, okay? So one way to have a little look, hopefully you can see the screen. Yeah, so if you go to coin market cap, and then if you look at the, I hate how it calls it dominance. It's not dominance, it's market share. That's the correct terminology, market share. So at the moment, Bitcoin is hovering around 50, I think it says 52.4% market share. And it's declining. So if you go back to the last bull cycle, the Bitcoin dominance or market share was around 85% and then plummeted down to about 34%. And this is when the alt rally season kicked in. And what's happening right now is that we're starting from a lofty place of about 60% and we're now starting to fall down. So this is, I think, this is the warning bell that it's alt season now, folks. So what we should see is that so basically altcoins, alternative coins, basically anything other than Bitcoin, is going to start taking market share away from Bitcoin, and we're going to see alts start to explode. Which is why we're seeing a lot of these coins doing crazy stuff. And Ether still hasn't done its thing. I'm still expecting a lot further growth, and Binance again. I'm wildly bullish on Binance, even from what it's done already. So, but yeah, we're having a bit of a down day today, which is normal. I mean, when markets rally this hard, you need to expect a bit of a down day. So I wouldn't worry. I mean, looking across all of this, got some. Yeah, gas is obviously doing well, but yeah. Ripple, yeah. So that's that. Right, let's have a look at the question. Stopping the share. Okay, here we go. What's your reservation with Tether? Tether is connected to Finex. So Finex owns Bitfinex and Tether. So they own the exchange. And basically it's that whole lawsuit. And where a lot of Bitcoin's growth in the early years, so not early years, earlier years, so mainly 2017, I think it was like 40% of Bitcoin's growth was due to Tether pumps. And I've shown like throughout the years, the correlation between Bitcoin and the Tether pump. So if you look at Bitcoin, let's get rid of these doodles, doodle. Come on. This was from yesterday, I think. And then if you were to superimpose, so compare USDT market cap. So throughout history, for a long time, look at this. So you have Bitcoin in a bit of a slump, and then you have Tether doing massive pumps. So going from like here, $4.6 billion up to six. So they printed basically $2 billion worth of Tether out of their ass, out of thin air. And there's always a lag. So you have the Tether pump, and then a month later or so, Bitcoin starts to rally. Here's another big pump. Bitcoin starts to rally. Here's another big pump. Bitcoin starts to rally. And here, Tether just constantly prints. They're pulling out their ass. And then guess what? Bitcoin rallies as a result. So, and they're still printing. So this is one of the reasons that Bitcoin rallies, is because Bitfinex, they own they own the exchange. They can print Tether out of their ass and then simply swap it for people buying Bitcoin. So they're help propping it up. However, they have been in court. There was some sort of settlement. I need to read up on that, actually. It's been a while. So yeah, that's the reason I don't like Tether. Oh, you can't see the screen. Sorry, I'm just seeing. Jesus. Thanks, Mike. I've just seen your thing on the delay on the YouTube one. You can't see. Damn it! You can't see the screen. Sorry, folks. I always do this. Basically, all I was sharing is that all of these Tether pumps, they then sparked Bitcoin rallying. And it's been, if you go back as long as you want, like whenever, like here, look at this. So Bitcoin's doing fine. Tether starts to drop. Look, nothing happens with Bitcoin. Tether drops. Oh, guess what? Bitcoin then drops because people are selling Tether. Tether market cap's dwindling. And then we have big rallying. Yeah, so there is definitely a correlation. Now, I'm aware of the phrase correlation doesn't equal causation. I'm well aware of that. But there has been correlation here for years now. It's been ridiculous. So yeah, I just don't trust Tether. So that's that. Let's look at the chat box. Okay, stop share. Must remember to share screen again if I do it. Robbie, can you talk me through ARB, please? What brought it to your attention, the charts, the history, and where do you see it going in the future? At what point do you get out, or is it a hold for now? Now, annoyingly, ARB is a stock, and therefore it's a regulated asset. So I cannot, due to FCA regulations, I cannot tell you where I see it going in the future, etc., etc. I can only I can sort of look at, what has happened in the past. So ARB is basically a Bitcoin, or it's a blockchain company. It's a mining company. So they're mining loads and loads of Bitcoin. And typically what happens is that when Bitcoin rallies, ARB also rallies. And so I've got part of my SIP, my ISA. I've got some of my ISA in ARB, and I've quite liked it because what I've done in the past is there tends to be a lag. So Bitcoin will rally and do its thing, and then a few days later or a week later, ARB then also rallies, and then Bitcoin drops, and then a few days later, ARB drops. So I've been enjoying some nice arbitrage where Bitcoin will start dropping, but then ARB will go up for a day or two. Then I'll sell, and so it's a nice lagging indicator. However, I've been caught out with my pants down because I got back in at 222, and even though Bitcoin has rallied big time, ARB has not rallied. It's actually so I'm underwater with this particular trade. So I'm not sure. A lot of the miners have got hammered. So if you look at Riot, same shizzle. Bitcoin's rallied. Look, it's trading lower. So I think we're going to hold out on this one. However, I did check, and ARB, they are mining a lot of Bitcoin. They're getting a lot, so they got the underlying asset. So I'm just going to sit in for this one at the moment. Which is annoying because I do want to get back into Tesla at some point. So so that's that one. Other questions? Stuart, in mind with what you said the other day about having tech burnout, just curious about how you... Okay, I like this question. Is this Stuart Brown that asked this question? Just curious, how do you go about resetting yourself with respect to overwhelm, fatigue, etc., apart from late night gaming? What have you personally found for you that works for you, or that you would like to try? So, it's a really good question. So, for those that weren't here yesterday I basically shared that I'm currently going through a bit of tech burnout. I've just got too much going on. Like, In fact, I'm going to talk about, I just need to make it too many businesses. Let's have too many businesses. Yeah, I'm just burned out really. I'm getting about 20 to 30 direct Facebook messages a day at the moment. I've got my email inbox is blowing up. My WhatsApp, I've got so many unread messages on my WhatsApp, and I try to stay on top of my WhatsApp. So I'm a bit burned out. And what I've done in the past, whenever I get socially burned out or online, digitally burned out, so to speak, is I have a mass detox. I get out of loads of groups, loads of threads. Like everyone's in sort of WhatsApp groups, and you get bing bongs all the time. And yeah, so what I did, I think 6 months ago, is I literally left every WhatsApp group that I was in and loads of other different groups. And that was great for a good few months. My WhatsApp wasn't blowing up, and it was only the people I wanted to actually speak to. That was, when a bing bong happened, a notification came on WhatsApp, I'm like, that's actually from a friend, not like a group notification. So I did that. I think what I tend to do is I try and, dial it back on what I do. So I think one of the reasons I'm doing these live sessions, they're daily at the moment, but they will be dropping back, is that I'm just going to give my whole Facebook inbox. I'm just going to give access to my PA. I'm going to get a PA again. And then my PA is literally just going to direct questions to these live chats. If you have a question, join the live chat and ask it live, because a lot of the answers I'm giving are replicated, so to speak. That a lot of people are asking the same questions. So instead of giving the answer to one person and only one person benefiting it, I prefer to answer en masse, and then other people can benefit from it. So Stuart, I don't actually have proven methods. I actually need a holiday. I haven't actually had a break in over a year. Obviously we've cancelled all of our overseas stuff with all the hoo-ha going on. But yeah, I think so. After this session, actually, I'm actually going to go and play golf. I just need to get out of the office. I literally spent all my life in this office. And seeing as the sun's out, may as well get the clubs out. Sun's out, clubs out. But yeah, for me, it's gaming. I literally got to bed at 2:45 last night. I had a massive gaming session. It was nuts. Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I wrote a little note, is too many businesses. So this is probably not relevant to a lot of people, but it could hopefully stop you from stepping on a landmine. Especially as now there's a new, buy business, no money down, all that bollocks. So I've been doing mergers and acquisitions since 2015, and I have stepped on a lot of landmines, and I've actually got some pretty good strategies now. So as a result, I've got 9 businesses in my group, which is not a good idea, by the way. I would highly recommend you don't get caught up in it all. And the problem is, it sounds good in theory and on paper. Oh, we've got lots of businesses and whatnot, but it's one massive cluster mess. It really is, because when you have a single business, there's so many things you need to keep on top of. You need to keep on top of all the admin. Like when I say admin, that's a big topic. Business admin. That's everything from managing clients and keeping people happy, to sorting out your accounts, your taxes, your all the sorts of like legal obligations you may have if you're renting, if you're leasing a premises. You have all those sorts of things. So business admin there's a lot. And just keeping on top of one business with the year end, your VAT quarters, your tax return, like your PAYE. There's so many things that come with one business. Now, when you times that by 9, it's like, oh my God, it's like it gets out of hand. And I'm a stickler for the basics. So I think many businesses out there can do way better if they just nail the basics. And when I say by business basics, I mean, if someone emails you, reply within an hour, or straight away. If there's any inbound questions or emails or live chats, you need to respond to it. Boom, straight away. if anyone has any queries or problems, no, especially if someone has a grief or a problem or a hiccup with your service, you need to address that straight away. Like business basics, like if you're someone that does quotes, if you're a plumber or an electrician, don't say, oh my God, this is my biggest bugbear. Don't say, I'll be around in the afternoon tomorrow. Well, what does that mean? Are you going to be here at 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock? I can't wait in for 6 hours for you. It's like the biggest thing. If you're a tradie, plumber, electrician, gardener, whatever, don't give a freaking 6 hour window when you're going to come around. That just pisses people off. Give people a half an hour slot. Just say, look, I'm doing blah, 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 but I will be with you between 12 or 12:30. Not even better. No, screw that. If I had a plumbing business or an electrician business, I wouldn't even give time frames. I would say I'll be there at 12:30 on the dot. Like how much better would you stand out against every other tradie business if you, instead of go, I'll be with you, sometime tomorrow, just say I'll be with you at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and I'll be with you for no more than 30 minutes or 1 hour or whatever. And I know tradies are going to say, oh yeah, but every job takes, you don't know how long the job is going to, or you need to sort your shit out. Honestly, I've had tradie businesses in the past. I had an aerial installation company, and you can sort your shit out. And so I'm going off on one here. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, business basics. So the problem what I'm having right now is I'm a bit overwhelmed, and I'm not. I'm putting my hands up here. There are some businesses that I've got right now where I'm not hitting the basics, and I'm aware of it, and it hurts. It hurts me inside because I know I can do better and I should do better, but it's hard. So I'm currently somewhat understaffed. Yeah. So I'm going off on one, but yeah. So I think the main thing I really want to stress here is that if you're in business and you're doing well, and I know some people are doing well, we suffer shiny object syndrome. So don't go, oh, maybe I should set up this business now. No, don't. Unless your first business is doing 20 grand a month profit, and that's another reason that's for another topic, why 20K a month. But if you're making 20 grand a month profit, then, and your business is automated with a management team and full staff, etc., then go and play with another business or another project, etc. But the errors I've made before is where, I've got a business to like 10 grand a month profit, and I've gone, okay, I'm doing all right. Let's go and do this business. And before you know it, you go off and doing your new shiny object, project. You start growing that. But what happens to your other business? Profits then start to slide. You're now doing 6 grand a month, 5 grand a month. Oh shit. And then all of a sudden your focus is then split between two businesses, both doing average. And what I've done is I've completely dialed that to the max. I'm now splitting my attention across 9 businesses, and it's not good. So I'm aware that I need to sort out the business basics and that's one thing you need to be aware of as a business owner, where you are failing. And when you know where you're failing, you need to address it. So I apologize if some of my businesses are taking a day or two to get back to you. I'm addressing it. So that's just my little warning to everyone. Please do heed it. Don't juggle too many plates. Robbie, great question, Stuart. I'm close to burnout. My losing trades are really starting to get to me now. Exercise def. Okay, so big warning flag here. My losing trades are really starting to get to me now. Okay, so this is a big warning flag, Robbie, because one of the biggest errors new traders make is over leveraging. Okay, over leveraging and over trading. So what a lot of new traders do is that when they place a trade, they're betting far too much money on a trade. So when it goes against them, guess what? They're stressed. They're like, you're probably checking your charts every 2 minutes. So you need to just stick to the rules. Like if you're, like I tend to say, just start with risking 0.25% max risk per trade. Then you won't have that emotional grief when a trade goes against you. And also if you're over trading and over leveraging, it's a double whammy. So yeah, just reduce your risk, and then you won't get that trading stress. Like I don't get trade stress anymore. Yes, Doge has now run away from me. Am I stressed? I don't really give a shit. So yeah, one of the guys mentioned Bitcoin, and I started to talk about it. I was totally laughed at the room. Mate, you're going to be the last one laughing. So yeah, honestly, if you don't have crypto exposure, folks, you're hurting yourself. You are. The Johnny Peters, does IP matter if it's a product that will most likely be copied anyway? No, it doesn't. So most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I'd say don't even bother trademarking anything or copywriting anything, because if it's a product, it's just going to be copied. It really is. I wouldn't waste the time and effort. I had a debate against an IP lawyer the other day, and yeah, obviously we didn't agree. But there's been so many times where I know of friends who have copyrighted, trademarked, patented something, and then it's just been ripped off anyway. And then guess what? If you IP anything, you need the time and the money to execute and enforce it. And most of the time, most people don't. Do you have an extra 10, 20 grand to enforce a patent infringement? No. So yeah, the same with just legal contracts. You need the money to enforce it. Stuart, thanks, Robbie. I've had to deal with burnout in the past. Yeah, it's a real crazy thing. Tom, how do you decide the price to sell that at that equals / signals the market is overstretched? Yeah, it's a bit of fudge factor. I just look for a massive overextended candle. So a candle which, like, in fact, I'll share my screen. In fact, let's open up a random chart. Instead of crypto, I'm just going to open up a currency chart. It's just a bit clearer. I'm still not a fan of TradingView. It's great in many respects, but come on, open the charts. Come on. Here we go. And share screen. Okay, where's my chart gone? The second I did that, it ran away. Here we go. Let's pick a random, okay, Euro Aussie, random pair. So here we go. So this is the euro against the Aussie, Australian dollar. So in here, so this is why sometimes I have moving averages. So for about 10 years, I've used the 21 EMA and the 8 EMA. And you know this already, Tom, but markets always try and pull back to the EMA. So you can use the EMA as a way to look at this. So here, as you can see, the market was overextended. It started to run away from this green line, which is the 8 EMA. And it's like a little rubber band. The market will try and pull it back. And guess what? Market pulled back, hit the 8 EMA, and then bounce off it. And so when things trend, markets do tend to pull back. But here's a great example. Look at this. So if you saw this in real time, this candle started down here at this level and zoomed all the way up here. Now, if I saw this in real life and I was like, Jesus, this is a 1,000 pip candle. Bearing in mind on this chart, the average pip size is about 180 pips. 200, 150, 100 to 150 pips. Then all of a sudden you have 1,000 pip candle. What do you think I'm going to do? If I saw this in real time, I would short the shit out of that. I probably would have seen the 180 level and got, I would have probably shorted here. And then look, if you're trying to do the 50% pullback thing, let's say you sold at 180 and thought, where's 50% of this big old bar? Probably at the 175 level. Boom. So you could have shorted it and took profit this one. And then guess what? On the very same candle, it pulled all the way back down here. So you would have made a great trade. Hell, you could have made a 470 odd pip trade there. So that, I guess you just have to, I mean, yeah, I know some people can go, oh yeah, I'll look at the ATR, average true range, and then do it by that. But personally, I just like looking, does the candle look ridiculous? Here's another ridiculous candle. So here, you could try and fade it, short it here, take profit halfway, roughly here. And it's not always going to work. No trading method on the planet works 100% of the time. And oh, look at that. Beautiful. There we go. 50%, short it, boom. The very next candle, it pulled back all the way roughly to there. There we go. That would have been a great trade. And then obviously carries on going. So here's another big candle. What do you think I'd do again? I'd short it. What's 50%? Roughly around here. And then great, next candle, it went all the way down here. So yeah, you would have made some quick profits. So I tend to every trade is different. Ooh, hello. Again, it's a regulated asset, so I can't say whether it's going to go up or down, but my traders will know what I just spotted. So yeah, let's get away from that. So stopping the share, right. Alex, you're going to give access to a PA to your Facebook. Better stop memeing while messaging you then. Yeah, I did. Actually, all of 2017, 2018, I had the same sort of thing where social media just blew up. And then I just gave access to all my social media to my PA and she just dealt with everything. And it was great. Yeah, it is quite, yeah. Anyway, right. Alex has then said, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't the businesses you establish slash buy supposed to complement each other? Yes, they are. They do. Like the Realistic Trader and the WAP complement each other nicely. They work well. In fact, it's the same team that manages the WAP and RT. So that's also very handy because you then have dual purpose staff. So instead of having individual staff for the WAP and individual staff for the Realistic Trader, I've got the same people running both businesses. So you're actually saving money on staff there when you have businesses that are very similar. So that's true. E.g., if you're making Teslas, you want to be in the business of making car batteries. What's your strategy around this? Yeah, it's true. You just need businesses that complement each other. I use the architect example a lot. So if you are a builder and you get all of your construction jobs from architects, what is the best business to buy? The architect. So if you, so buy an architect firm, then you get all your business, then you control your own leads, so to speak. And again, if you're a builder, another good company to buy would be a scaffolding business or a plumbing business or an electrician business. And then before you know it, you're a facilities management firm. So that's how you complement each other. David, do you still have a suggested RT members coin portfolio to share? Yeah, if you just go to YouTube, here we go. Go to Siam Kid on YouTube, Siam Kid, enter, and then click on me, click on playlists, and then look for free crypto basics video course. There's shitloads of crypto videos I made in 2017. However, the most recent video is at the bottom of this list. And then here you go, Siam's Kryptonian portfolio, my entire crypto holdings. So definitely watch that. Now my portfolio has changed a fair bit, but you get a rough idea of what I talk about. So definitely watch that video. Yeah, so that's that one. Let's have a look. Zoom. Okay, Aaron. Simon, I'm in some really bad sells in the DE30. Do you mean the US 30? Or do you mean the DAX? Probably the DAX. It seems to just keep going up, surely overextended. What are your thoughts? Yes. So one of the things is shorting the indices at the moment will hurt you. And I've been hurt. I think last year I got into a really bad US 30 trade, as in Dow Jones Industrial Average trade. And I think I lost something like 60 grand trying to short it because everything fundamental is saying that the markets, as in, all the indices are massively overvalued. I mean, the most crazy one is the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ. It is absolutely ridiculous. So this is the March crash, the COVID crash, and look how much it's rebounced. And it's all because of corporate buybacks. There's cheap money. I said this yesterday. Corporate buybacks is where there's cheap capital sloshing around for the big boys. They can borrow money at like 0.5% or less. And all they go and do is they take that borrowed money and they just buy back their own shares. And so when companies are buying back their own shares, what's going to happen to the share price? It goes up. the earnings per share goes up, they get big old bonuses, and that's all that's happening. So at the moment, trying to short this, it's like stepping in front of a steam train. So just don't. It's very risky getting into trades where you don't have stop losses if you don't know what you're doing. You really need a hard stop loss. So at the moment, although I'm very bearish on stocks and I do see a massive crash happening, I just don't know when. Like, the world is pregnant with tail risk. The world really is pregnant with tail risk. It's ridiculous. Like, all of the bollocks we had. God damn it, I'm not showing my screen again. What an idiot. Here we go. Here's the NASDAQ. This is what I was saying. This was the COVID crash, and this is the bounce that the NASDAQ's had. It's just nuts. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. So, as I said, the world is pregnant with tail risk. All the bullshit that happened in 2020, the world grinding to a halt, yada, yada, yada. We haven't seen the effects of that in the real world. It hasn't been priced in yet. So, yeah, I'm very bearish, but I'm with your trade. I'd cut your losses. In fact, I can't tell you what to do. What I do is if you're in a really bad trade, and especially when something like, the indices right now, the market will remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. So, yeah. Alex, nice. 2 businesses, 1 group of staff. Nice. Yeah, it's pretty handy. They actually manage more than that. So my team in my annex, just literally 15 meters away, they manage. I've got a pretty good team, actually. So they're managing My Fairy Pen Pal, the Realistic Trader, and the WAP. So yeah, 1 set of staff to run 3 businesses. So I'm saving a lot of money there. But yeah. So Mike has asked, hypothetical question: is it foolish to quit your job for 1 year if one makes 10 years worth of their salary in crypto? Just curious to know your thoughts. Oh, this is a great question. I like this. Which Mike is this? Do you want to share? Is this Mike Easton or Mike Freeman or Mike with no surname? Either way, in fact, you don't have to say. This is a great question. So I'm going to repeat that. So Mike has asked, basically, he's made a year's worth of profit from his crypto, and he's wondering if he should quit his job. Now, I've got too many answers for you, mate. Where do I start? So first things first is I would keep your job for the moment. And using that profit, try and set up a part-time business. Try and set up a business on top of your job. I remember back in the day, I literally spent every spare waking moment running my part-time business whilst having a full-time job. So you can do it. And loads of people have done it. So keep at your job and then try and set up your part-time business using that. And then you've got some capital now so that you can then actually spend money to, hell, you could get a virtual member of staff. Like, you could outsource some of the work. Go to upwork.com. Yeah, here's a good one. If, let's say, you're UK based and you're worried about the language barrier and time zone difference, go to upwork.com and hire someone in South Africa. So South Africa has the average wage is 3 to 4 times less than the UK. So let's say the UK minimum wage is like, £8 an hour. Well, guess what? In South Africa, it's probably about £2, £3 an hour. And they're the same time zone as you, and there's no language difficulty barrier. So there's no lost in translation stuff. There was a point where I had a whole bunch of South Africans, and they're great. They're hard workers. I've got a lot of time for South Africans. I've got a lot of good South African friends. So what you could probably do is, carry on with your job. So you've got income coming in. Have a virtual assistant, a South African virtual assistant, where you can just palm off stuff that you don't want to do or you can't do because you're too busy, and grow your business. Join the WAP. Literally just join the WAP and do the Facebook marketing module, and then grow your business that way. And then when your business starts making, and hell, even £500 a month, £1,000 a month, then you can quit your job. That way, you're not going to bleed your capital. So one of my big rules is never kill the goose that pops out your magic eggs. You need to eat your eggs, eat the magic eggs, not the goose. So by quitting your job right now and living off of the profit that you just made with your crypto, you're effectively killing the goose. So you need to convert capital to cash flow. Don't eat the capital, which is what you'd be doing if you just quit your job. So definitely, or what you could do is maybe repurpose your job. So instead of quitting your job, you could find another full-time job where you have a lot of free time. So perhaps find a job where you can actually work from home, or get a driving job, drive lorries or whatever. And that way you can work on your business whilst, it's a lot harder if you're stuck in an office, 9 to 5 or 8 to 6 or whatever. But like, for example, I did exactly the same thing. When I wanted more free time to grow my businesses, I quit my admin job in an office at this recruiting company, and I became a 999 ambulance call handler. Sounds a bit ironic, but I saw that it was four days on, 3 days off. So I had 3 days a week where I could just work on my business. And then the 12-hour shifts or 12 and a half hour shifts I did whilst I was working, there was lots of downtime. The phone isn't always being, ringing. So I could then build my businesses while working. So you could repurpose your job, actually. So that's my thoughts. But don't just go and eat all of your capital through living expenses. Set up a business for sure. As I said, again, I think yesterday I said this, treat crypto as a lovely lottery for the masses. And you're not going to become a millionaire with crypto, most likely, but your crypto will probably help you get 100, 500% ROI, which is, 50 years worth of investment returns. So you use it as a way to, get a business. Mike, just curious to know your thoughts as a full-time job is training and wanted to join the WAP and focus on trying to set up a business full-time. Oh yeah, cool. We just covered that. Mike, 10 years worth of income made. Thank you, Siam. Ah, nice one. What did I do? Was it the Kryptonian portfolio? Hope so. Robbie, how did you earn 10 years worth, Mike? Did you get Bitcoin years ago? Robbie, not necessarily. Like, if you did the Kryptonian portfolio in January, like my £95,000 is now £500,000. So technically I've made several years, worth of income. So by jumping in and out, doing the portfolio, etc. So yeah, I mean, personally, it's, shitty pants time. It's like, shit, the whole portfolio has gone up like 5x and sat on £500,000 at the moment of just crypto. So it's pretty scary, to be fair. In fact, I shouldn't have said that. This is going out to YouTube. Shit. Oh well. Jamie said, or you could get a part-time job to supplement at least some cash flow. Yeah, that's exactly right. Aaron, good thoughts. Thanks, Simon. In regard to indices question, is that because money is being printed constantly? Every man and dog is pumping into stocks and indices as a safe net to expecting it to keep going up. Then once hedge funds and banks decide they'll short it massively, it will come closer to the economy opening up as normal again. Not really. The public doesn't actually push the markets up that much. It is literally just corporate buybacks. It's pretty much it. And it's a case of like, hey, public, look at what the stock market's doing. Come and buy the stock market. Meanwhile, the billionaires are exiting stocks, a lot of them. And then, yeah, we're just waiting for a black swan event that will really, really pop the markets. I just don't know what it will be. But a lot of people think that the market, the economy is opening up now. COVID is under arrest, blah, blah, blah. Things are opening up. And they think that, things are going to return back to normal. But we're going to go back into lockdown again, folks. I think everyone thinks I'm ridiculous. So back in April 2020, I said, this is what's going to happen, folks. We're going to have another lockdown. They're going to let us out a bit again. So they'll lock us down at the start of the normal flu season. So they'll lock us down in September, October, November time. Then they'll let us out again to do some Christmas shopping in December. Then they'll go, oh, everyone's so reckless. It's out of control. Harsh lockdown during Christmas. And we'll be in lockdown till April. Well, guess what? It's now April and we're still in lockdown and we're only just getting out of it. And people think, oh, okay, that's the end. But it's not going to happen again. So what's going to happen is we'll enter another lockdown later on this year. And the government will say, oh, it's because there's a new variant. There's always a new variant or whatever. Our numbers rising. Like, we're going to go back into lockdown again. So don't fool yourself. And I've been remarkably accurate with with the timeline, even though people said I'm a conspiracy theorist. Yet all my conspiracy theories are now just normal news. Like, how am I so accurate with forecasting what the government's doing? It's because I've got a different mental model. It's because I don't watch the BBC News. If you believe what the BBC News is saying, then yeah, everything's going to be a shock. My mother and father-in-law are completely shocked every time there's a new lockdown or new variant or new whatever. It's nothing to do with the virus. Anyway, oh man, I'm probably going to be banned from YouTube now just for saying that. Let's move on. Yeah, we'll open up during summer, but then once normal flu season kicks in, guess what? They'll blame it on COVID, and then we'll be locked down again. And before we know it, COVID passports. Again, I said that in April. We won't be allowed out until everyone is bagged and tagged with a COVID passport of some sort. Well, guess what the government's doing right now? Interesting. So, saw your videos. Robbie said, most of the 1% own stocks and indices. There will be some crashes, but they will always go up and up. Yeah, I agree to an extent. Mike, I recorded some courses and uploaded to Udemy a couple of years ago as a side hustle. Thank God I did, as my job ended when COVID hit, and Udemy Skillshare has become my main income. Amazing, Mike. Hats off to you. Now doing it full time, and it's allowing me time and money to create my own training site, etc. Hats off to you, mate. Spot on. Robbie, check out the Voice of Reason on YouTube. Different news. Okay, cool. Right. So that's all the Zoom questions done. Let's quickly go through the YouTube ones and then we'll call it a day because it's been an hour. Okay, so Mohammed, I watched your startup videos. You said that you allocate some of your profit to trading bot, and you mentioned one of your videos I could not find. Can you elaborate that trading bot subject? Yeah, okay, sure. So I have a trading bot. Well, okay, what's happening at the moment is slightly different. But typically, the way I orchestrate my trading, and by the way, this is my trading, not my whole investment world. So I've got different pots for different things. I've got my business money, I've got my trading money, I've got my investing money, and I've got personal money. There's all sorts of different pots, and in each different pot, they're segregated into lots of different pots. So I've got the last time I checked, I've got 32 different bank accounts. It's freaking ridiculous. It's getting out of hand now. And a lot of the bank accounts because of the different businesses, etc. So, but if you were to sort of get a magnifying glass on my trading life, I typically have two things. I have my safe DIY trading account. So this is what I call my pension pot. It's not an actual pension, but it's my safe account. And I have typically 90 to 95% of my trading capital in my safe account. And these days, my safe account is simply my RT trading bot account because it just tickles. It trickles over. It's safe. It's not going to blow up my account, etc. So, for example, where is my? Here we go. Yeah, so we've got a few things. Here we go. Am I sharing the screen? I just want to double check. I am sharing screen. I'm not sharing my screen. What an idiot. God damn it. So here we go. Sharing the screen. So I got two accounts. My safe account where most of my money is in. I call it my safe, and no silliness hits this whatsoever. And at the moment, my trading bot simply just plays with that. So if I was to share my trading bot screen, So I've got a whole bunch of different strategies. So the thing with trading bots is different than manual trading, because you're effectively the football coach managing the football players on your pitch. And then you can get rid of your football players if they're performing shitly, blah, blah, blah. But at the moment, they're just ticking along. So let's look at this footballer. It's pretty much flat. It's doing sort of is on 1.45% a year. It's doing shit. This footballer is doing really badly, minus 5%, or real returns minus 3.72%. This one, again, minus 1%, not doing that well. This one's flat. This one's doing all right. But yeah, at the moment, we're in a bit of a lull. And this one's up a bit. So yeah, these bots are, yeah. But what I've actually done recently is I've actually bled my account. So if I look at my bot account right now, yeah, I've just left $2,000 in it, because I've just put most of my spare capital sloshing around into my crypto. As I said, I'm maximizing my crypto moves until January, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Well, not call it a day, but the market's likely to cool off around January or winter time. So that's that. And then what I tend to do is I have a manual trading account. And this is my aggressive account. So this is my sort of, well, I'm like over here, I'm risking about 0.25% max risk per trade. Whereas in my aggressive account, I'll be risking 1 to 5% max risk per trade. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. So that's that. What else do we have on the questions from YouTube? Lucian, can you check out Peculium, and also could you try the AI product? Not now. Aaron James, how much is access to the WAP, Simon? It's, if you check it is, well, it's actually free for the first 30. So what I would do is check it out, do the 30-day free trial. And if you like it, join. If you don't, leave. I mean, you got like hours and hours of videos in the free trial. And in the free trial, you have access to this. If I open up the WAP map, you get access to the WAP map, but you have access to the free trial videos. And there's loads of videos there. Even right at the bottom, we set up a brand new business to basically put all our practices, put our money where our mouth is, created a brand new business from scratch and grew it and shared every little part of it. And if you like it, just go back to the WAP.org, click join the WAP, and then scroll down and you'll see it's either £30 a month for a year or 300 quid a year. So it's cheaper, and that works out to 82p a day. So treat this like a business degree, except it's only going to cost you 82p a day. Unlike a business degree, which is going to cost you 30 grand, and then you'll end up with rubbish knowledge that you can't really use. This is actual practical knowledge. So check it out. Honestly, it's cheap as chips. This is massively underpriced, the WAP. It really is. So that's that. What other questions? Fred, what price do you think buying Coinbase shares in a good deal? I'm not going to be buying Coinbase shares. Why would you buy Coinbase shares when you can just buy crypto? So maybe during the crypto cooling off period, I'll stick with Binance. Binance is just way more upside. So so that's that. And if I am buying a stock, it's not going to be Coinbase, it's going to be Tesla. What's your opinion on Picoin project? Don't know, don't care. As I said, I don't. There's like over 9,000 different cryptos, and it's rising. And it will carry on rising. There's now 9,261 cryptos projects on just CoinMarketCap, and there's probably at least double that offline as well. So you'll never keep up with the crypto market, and every single day there's a new killer crypto that's going to take out Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. Just don't really. I'm not interested until something gets to page 1 or page 2 of CoinMarketCap. Really, yeah. So unless it's page 1, page 2, maybe page 3, I'm not interested. So Hawken Grovetown, that's such a cool name. Hope it's real. Would you ever be interested in starting a crypto coin? What is it? No, I'm not. No. I'm not even going to go into that one. I don't want to be part of crypto coin. And what are the short essential factors? So check out my crypto the crypto YouTube playlist I have, I actually cover that question there, how to create your own coin and what you would look into. What other questions? We've got a whole bunch of random people on YouTube that I'm not familiar with your name. So hey, YouTube people. So yeah, this is my first YouTube live stream. So hope it's helping. Acolyte Trader has said, if leverage is a catalyst for the next crash and all asset classes correct in a crash, don't you think crypto, being a highly leveraged asset class, could be the trigger to spark off the Great Reset? I agree. I do. I agree. And also, don't forget, when the market crashes properly, so when stocks start to shit their pants, crypto will crash with it. So you heard this here first. Cryptos will crash hard if the global stock markets crash. And especially now, as the whole crypto market is being really gobbled up with ETFs and all sorts, the web of derivatives in the crypto market is expanding now that we have ETFs, all that sort of stuff. Very much like when the stock market crashes, gold crashes with it, simply because of the derivatives web around it, but temporarily. So what tends to happen is that, let's say we have a big old crash, cryptos crash, I don't know, 40, 50% like that. Guess what all the strong hands are going to do? All the people that really understand crypto, they're going to be like, oh, this is Christmas. I'm going to buy. Like if cryptos crash right now, 50%, I would literally just sell everything. Not sell everything, but I'll put as much spare capital in to buy the dip. And that's what will happen. So, and now there's a lot more money that is aware of crypto. I think it's giving a much stronger base. So if there are any big crashes, I think it will be short-lived because people just see this as a buying opportunity. So Gareth Jones says, I've got 10K, I'm looking to invest. Never traded before, but would like the skill set. Where would you recommend I start? So first thing, you got to be very careful who you ask that question to, because there's a lot of people that will tell you really bad things. A lot of people that would try and siphon, they'll probably try and get you into some dodgy pyramid scheme like Cash FX. So the first thing is, yeah, you're spot on. You need to increase your knowledge. So that's what the WAP is. Honestly, just check out the WAP. I cannot stress this enough. It doesn't make me much money, the WAP, but it is good. The good, it will make, you'll learn a lot, because in the WAP, if you are a full WAPper, you go to the WAP map and scroll down here and you'll see, here we go. This module, money, investing basics, investing advanced. You'll learn a whole bunch just in those 3 modules there. And then after you watch those 3 modules, you'll know exactly what you to do with your 10K. But if I were to give you a more reckless answer, which if I was to give you my uncensored answer, I would say watch my video about the Kryptonian portfolio and put 10K into the Kryptonian portfolio, as in the coins within the Kryptonian portfolio. And then be cautious around sort of January time, when it's likely the market's going to cool off a bit. Another alternative you could do is put that 10K into a strong, solid crypto, which have a staking element, so where you can get a yield. So for example, you can buy Binance, Polkadot, Cardano. I mean, they're 3 really solid cryptos, and you can stake them and get an average of 10 to 15% per year. So that's something you could do. That way you have the yield from it, and you also have the PAG. The PAG is the potential appreciation growth. So, but yeah. So yeah, let's call that a day. An hour and 15 minutes. I need to go and get some breakfast. Thanks, everyone. I hope this has helped. It's been really fun meeting some new people from the YouTube Live. I'll be doing this more. And I'll be back on Monday at 12 o'clock. I'll be back on YouTube Live and Zoom. So yeah, toodles. Bye. Okay, so whilst I go through the few bits and pieces that I